Alright bro, this is what I've done to my body after training consistently for the past 2 years now, and I've never taken any form of protein, creatine or any supplement ever.
Push it to the limit. Walk along the razor's edge, but don't look down. Just keep your head, or you'll be finished.
But before I dive into this video where I break down every single thing that I did which helped me to build this physique, I want you to ask this one simple yet very important question to yourself. What kind of physique do you want? Because I've seen guys going to the gym and asking their fat trainers what exercise they should do, and they tell them 15 different exercises for chest, and the guys even do that for almost a year, but after that they don't make much gains and remain dissatisfied with their physique. So it's very important for you to have a goal physique in your mind, because if you are training without any goal physique, you are gonna build muscle but you might remain dissatisfied with your physique. So for example, before I started my own fitness journey, I wanted a lean, aesthetic and an athletic physique, like those V-taper bodies that make you look like a Superman. I always wanted a physique that makes me feel confident whenever I'm standing in front of the mirror, and a physique that fills out my t-shirts just like this. So in order to achieve all of this, I have been following an exact method for the past 2 years that's helping me to reach my dream physique. Alright bro, the number one thing that you have to do is to go to sleep. Now I know this might sound very annoying to you, but please listen to me for 1 minute. Your body grows only when you're giving it enough rest and recovery. This is something that I recently started paying more attention to, and believe me, I'm in the best shape of my entire life. So it's not 6 hours, not 7 hours, not 7 hours and 45 minutes, but you need 8+ hours of sleep every single night. I have been taking this for granted for a long time and it has affected my gains. I don't want you to do the same mistake. So now if you keep scrolling at night and missing your bedtime, you're gonna be struggling with lifting heavier weights in the gym and your muscles are gonna be cramping. And bro, I don't want you to train really hard in the gym and still not achieve your dream physique just because you are ignoring the easiest task, which is to sleep. Alright bro, now comes the real deal, the training routine which I follow. So before joining college, for the last 1.5 years, I've been doing the standard push-pull leg split, where push stands for training chest, shoulders and triceps, pull stands for back and biceps, and legs is just legs. So I was doing this 6-day push-pull leg split when I was at home. You know, I wasn't very busy. All I have to do is to just study for JEE and hit the gym. But last year, I got into a uni and a lot of things happen over there. I walk a lot, I have classes, I play football, I party and have fun with my friends because it's Goa. I can't help. So because of all of these things, I slowly found out that my recovery was just not on point. I was only able to go to the gym 4-5 times a week, still following the push-pull leg split. So I was skipping a few workouts, not training my muscles effectively, my strength level started to decline, and I was also just not growing in size. So after doing this push-pull leg split for almost 1.5 years, I switched to a 5-day split because realistically, I'm only able to hit the gym 5 days a week. So here's how the split looks like. On Monday, I train legs, Tuesday push and Wednesday pull. Thursday, I take a rest day, Friday is for lower body, Saturday is for upper body, and then Sunday again a rest day. Now the best part about this 5-day split is that you are still hitting every muscle group twice a week, which is the ideal frequency that you need to have in order to gain muscle. And also you are getting 2 rest days, so you are sleeping well enough and are being ready for your next training session. Now coming down to the exercises which I do, on my leg days, I do 2 sets of machine squats for 6 to 10 reps, 2 sets of hamstring curls, 2 sets of leg extensions for 10 to 12 reps, and 3 sets of calf raises for 10 to 15 reps because my calves are small. On my push days, I do 2 sets of incline dumbbell press for 6 to 8 reps, 2 sets of chest flies for 8 to 12 reps, 2 sets of overhead press for 6 to 8 reps, 2 sets of lateral raises for 10 to 15 reps, and I also do few drop sets at the end to fully destroy that side delt, which gives you that 3D Superman look, and I finish it off with 2 sets of tricep overhead extensions for 8 to 12 reps. Now my pull days are pretty easy. 2 sets each of lat pull down, preacher curls, rows, cable curls and rear delt flies, all for 8 to 12 reps. Now you might have noticed that I'm only doing 2 sets and about 6 to 12 reps in every exercise, because that's a sweet spot bro. I strongly believe in the Pareto principle, which is 80% of the outputs come from the 20% of the efforts, and I personally don't like doing so much volume. It just takes so much energy and I don't want to my joints up by the time I'm 30 years old. Plus, you don't really have to spend 2 hours in the gym, bro. Like, this is the biggest misconception that I've seen around. I finish my workouts in like 45 to 55 minutes and I just get back to my work. So moving on, my upper body days looks like this. 2 sets of incline dumbbell press for chest, 2 sets of lat pull down for my back, 2 sets of lateral raises for shoulders, and 2 sets each of bicep curls and tricep extensions. And on my lower body days, I just do whatever I did on my leg day. Plus, I also train my abs on this day. I do 2 sets of decline weighted crunches or 2 sets in the ab crunches machine. Now comes the rest days. So either I get my cardio in on this day or I do some more abs, maybe in the park, hanging leg raises for 2 to 3 sets. Now, if you're not a skinny kid like I was and you have some fat in your body, cardio is a non-negotiable for you, bro. Because in order to get those definitions in your body and look lean and get those abs popping out, you need to lose fat. Now, I never did cardio in the gym because I think it's the most boring thing. I like being out in the nature, so I go for runs, cycling, or I play football every now and then. So in order to lose fat while gaining muscles, you need to have at least 2 to 3 cardio sessions per week for about 25 to 30 minutes each. Just make sure that you are sweating enough and actually pushing yourselves while running, sprinting, or doing some cycling. Now here comes a few important things that you have to keep in mind. Since we are doing mostly 2 sets per every exercise, the intensity of the sets have to be really high. That's my whole philosophy around the word training hard. I take every single set to absolute failure, and I also do a few partial reps in the end just to fully destroy that muscle. And once I become comfortable with the weight that I'm lifting and I'm able to do more than 12 reps, I just increase the weight by 1 stack or 1 plate, and then I try to hit 8 to 12 reps again. Which brings me to another important factor, that is progressive overload. This simply means that you're gonna lift more weight in your every next workout in order to become stronger and bigger. Now, progressive overload can majorly be done in 3 ways. Either you're gonna lift more weight than your last workout, or you're gonna do more reps than your last workout, or you're gonna do the exercise in a better form. Now, the cheat code that I use here is that I track my workout, every single set, every single rep. So on my iPhone Notes app, I just type the number of reps I did with what weight, and when I'm doing this workout the next time, I just aim on doing 1 or 2 reps more, and if I've reached the 8 to 12 rep mark, I just increase the weight. Bro, I highly recommend you that you start tracking your workouts. The mistake which I did was that I started tracking my workouts pretty late. When you are tracking your workouts and doing more every next time, it just makes it obvious that you're gonna grow. Like, there's no option left for your muscles other than becoming stronger and bigger. So just download any notes app, start typing your weight and the exercise and the number of reps that you are doing, and start tracking your workouts. Alright bro, now comes the most important thing, your diet. Now, I'm sure you must have heard it from everywhere that diet is the most important factor in building a good physique. That's true, but I also believe that diet is the most overcomplicated thing in fitness. Now, I'm not a nutritionist and I'm still figuring out my diet, but here's what my diet looks like that helped me build this body. Alright, beginning with what I said earlier in the video, I do not take any protein, whey, creatine, or any of the supplements because the truth is, I don't really need it. My recovery is good, my genetics are good, I love the way I look in front of the mirror, my diet is taking care of all of my macros. I don't really need all of this stuff. And I'm not saying that you should not take it or I am never gonna take it. Maybe 2-3 years later, I might start taking it. But bro, being very honest, I know it might sound a bit cliche. I don't think humans were ever meant to be consuming these powders in order to become big. I know this is a very controversial thing. Plus, I'm not also making so much money right now that I can invest in a really good protein. But again, if you're not able to fulfill your protein needs from your daily diet, you can just go for it. My personal opinion, you don't really need it. Now coming to my diet, I mostly eat whatever my mom makes, and at college I eat the mess food, which is pretty good surprisingly. I do not eat any oily fried stuff, but here are some of my non-negotiable protein sources. So for my breakfast, I eat peanut butter sandwich with brown bread, bananas, and some oats with dry fruits. I add curd to my lunch every day. I eat 100 grams of protein, and I also eat 3 to 4 eggs every day except on Tuesdays. And that's it bro, that's all I eat. I like to keep my diet nice and simple, and I also eat all of this stuff in a fairly good amount, so my calorie intake is also dialed in. But now comes the most important part of being jacked, and I guess most important part of this entire video, which a lot of guys ignore but are making a very big mistake. You need to understand that during these young days of your life, testosterone is the most important chemical of your life. The urge to do hard things like lifting heavier weights, being consistent in the gym for years, and doing hard things like taking risks are the signs signs of high testosterone levels. And the first thing that you can do to yourself right now is to do the things that suppress your testosterone levels, which is not sleeping enough, not giving yourself enough sunlight, and most importantly, eating these shitty junk packaged food. You might think that the only bad thing with all of these packaged processed food is that they make you fat and they give you acne, but little do you know about the chemicals inside of them that up your testosterone level. So one of the biggest factor which I believe that has helped me to achieve this physique is ditching these packaged food like noodles, nachos, cold drinks, and eating more clean whole foods that come directly from nature like coconut, chicken, fish, eggs. It's a humble bro to bro request. Conserve your testosterone levels, your muscles are gonna grow faster, and even if you're craving these stuff like noodles and pasta, just cook it from scratch at your home or go to a nice restaurant every now and then. But please, none of this fake packaged foods or anything. Alright bro, I think that's all I do to get a nice physique. I also take 15 to 20 minutes of sunlight every single day to get enough vitamin D, and it also boosts your T levels. Also bro, this whole fitness and bodybuilding thing is a slow process which is gonna take years to bring some results. I know you are working really hard in the gym right now, but your efforts are not matching your results. But I think that's the whole point of fitness. You might think that this is something that you wanna achieve as soon as possible, but fitness is more of a lifestyle than yet another goal that you want to achieve in your life anyhow. I hope you are able to understand this mindset that I'm trying to share with you, because honestly bro, this is something that keeps me going. All I have to do is to train hard and just be slightly better than my last workout. That's it. Do join the Discord server that I recently started. It's called the Growth Gang. We are about 150 members inside of it, and we discuss a lot of fitness and other self-improvement stuff. You can just check out the link in my description. I know this video might have got a lot of doubts in your head. Feel free to ask them in the comment section below. I am surely gonna answer all of you. Defeat yourself.